Hi guys, my name is Timo Maas and you're listening to the Liverpool Connection podcast.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Liverpool Connection podcast. I'm your host Darren Daz. My nickname, as most of me mates know me. This is my music and football episode where I bring on a musician, DJ, producer to chat about footy and music, which is a big part of my life and a big part of theirs. My next guest is an absolute legend. He's the original Balearic pioneer, I think. Um, he's been on the scene, the music scene, for a very, very long time. Got loads of great stories that I've been reading up on, very funny stories as well. But not only that, he's a Liverpool supporter. So in my book, he's an absolute diamond. But I'm very happy to introduce Trevor Fung to everyone. Trevor, great to have you on. I know we've been chatting for a little bit. It's absolutely great to have you on because I've seen you play quite a few times. Never been able to get to talk to you. So now is really cool. That's one thing I think that the positive part of COVID that came out is
Yes.
Zoom happened. So
Yeah.
you're able to, talk to anybody you want over Zoom. So, that's one positive thing that came out of it. My podcast started during COVID because I was just bored shitless and I needed some outlet, so that happened. But yeah, welcome to the show, mate. Do you want to talk music or
I
Liverpool?
will talk whatever you'd like to talk about first. So I just want to say good day to everybody. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, let
Football music, you can't beat it, really.
No, you can't. I mean, that's one good thing is why I really like these episodes because a lot of musicians, when they do interviews, all they talk about is the music side, and people don't really get to know, their other side, their hobbies, or what they like and dislike and everything. So I'm going to kick off. Let's do Liverpool first because they're the
Yeah, good
best
subject.
team on the planet at the moment. Why Liverpool Football Club for you?
Well, I was born in London in 61. I was born in West London, in fact, Hammersmith. So obviously I liked Chelsea. But as we was growing up, and when in the 70s, my dad liked Liverpool, and we was watching all these games, and I just I just switched from Chelsea to Liverpool, but being local, and it's a real funny one now because everyone, all my London friends, why Liverpool? Why Liverpool? I said I just love the style, I just love the club. I said I just got into it. I was watching it every day. And another person I really liked was Muhammad Ali. It was like my dad really loved Muhammad Ali and Liverpool. And I thought, yeah, this is great. And I was hooked, in the 70s and 80s. It was just, they were winning everything, weren't they? The both of them, the two of them. But so, yeah, I switched when I was about 8 years old over to Liverpool and I never looked back.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean, when you're
No.
8 years old, you're still, I mean, when
Yeah, but
I'd collect different, footy shirts. I mean, I
yeah,
was diehard Liverpool, but I had a soft spot actually for Spurs because my dad used to work construction engineer in Iraq and Iran.
yeah.
And for some reason, they were on he was going to Saudi, and the Spurs squad was on there.
Oh,
Uh,
right. Yeah,
Stevie
yeah.
Archibald, Glenn Hoddle. So for some reason, he got me all their. They gave him a shirt and they all signed it, and
Oh,
he brought it
brilliant.
home. And I was like, Dad, I support Liverpool. He's like, well, just shut up here. They gave it to me, and I've had it ever since. And
Yeah.
just I mean, I don't
Wow.
care for them now, but
No,
back in the like early '80s and stuff.
yeah,
I watched one of the best FA Cups, when they played City in the
yeah,
replay when Ricky
yeah,
Villa scored that amazing
yes.
goal. Yeah, so I have a soft spot
Soft spot.
for them back then. But yeah, I totally understand. But I mean, a lot of London lads support Liverpool.
Yes, but you see, when I was growing up, it was either Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. It was more like that. It was. I didn't know a lot of people. In fact, I knew more people that supported Man United in London than I did Liverpool. But
Mm.
then, as I grew up, there was a lot of people that liked Liverpool as well. You know, Liverpool and Man United. It was one of the two. I think they're the two biggest supported clubs outside of their own towns, aren't
And,
they? But yeah, everybody supported Liverpool, and I used to go to the pubs and watch the games, and I was probably there was only a few Liverpool supporters, obviously in London, but yeah, and it's just funny because I'm in London and you got all the London clubs, and if an Arsenal fan ain't having a go, you've got a Tottenham fan having a go at me. I've got a Chelsea fan having a go at me. All my friends, a lot of my friends in music business are mainly Chelsea and Arsenal,
Mhm.
believe it or not. But all my London friends, but my friends up here, I moved out of London a long time ago now, 13 years ago. So I'm up in Staffordshire now, so closer
Well,
to Liverpool.
well, going to a pub in London though, are you that fella in the corner with that one, the one telly, the tiny telly, watching
No,
Liverpool?
no,
Everyone's watching.
I'm the even bigger idiot going goal when they score
Ah, good
and
lad.
everyone looking at you. But it's football, you know.
Well,
Um, I'm not a nutty supporter like that. You know, you get some people that get very offensive, but no, it's just I'm that guy. I'm not sitting there with my radio just quietly listening. Nah, I'm there shouting, go mad.
one thing about the States, I mean, obviously back home in the UK, especially Liverpool as well. Like when you go watch Liverpool, it's in a full-on Liverpool, supporters pub. Over
Yeah,
here, when I first started going, it was like a mashup of every Premier League team at the
yeah,
pub. So it was great because, you could banter with people, and I missed
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You tell
yeah,
people
yeah,
to
yeah,
sod off,
yeah,
scream,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
get in front of their faces and stuff. But that's changed as well. Every team here now has their own pub, and
Yeah.
I kind of miss being in the pub with like just a bunch of footy supporters.
Yeah, yeah, it is fun. It is
Mm.
fun. I mean, obviously, I mean, where over in the States, is it they support all different teams, or have you found they all support like Man United or Liverpool, or and
It,
then you get a few smutterings?
the biggest ones obviously are Liverpool and Man United.
Yeah, of
There's a
course.
lot of our Arsenal supporters, and then you have like little, you know, dots of. I've only met like two Evertonian, fans,
Oh, well, well.
which is nice, which is nice.
Didn't they
There's
win
some.
the World Cup the other night when they beat Liverpool?
Oh,
And the rest of the World Cup.
yeah, they're going to do their
My
parade at the end of the
God.
season. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, anyone would think they won the World Cup. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, calm down, boys. That
yeah,
was a terrible game. That was.
it
The
was.
referee was awful. I mean, the amount he was terrible. The referee was awful. He was awful. Some of the fouls he just wasn't letting giving Liverpool and giving everything to Everton. It was ridiculous.
Well, I actually think he was like Oliver was bad for both
He was,
teams for Everton
he was
as well. But
he was a
he
bad
was giving
referee.
Everton everything. That foul on Salah
Yeah, I
right at
mean,
the end, I'm like, you're standing right in front, and you
yeah,
see that the Everton lad hooks
pulling
his
him.
leg.
Yeah, he's got his. I know. And I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Salah just never gets any
Well,
respect by the referees in
no,
England, and it's
because they
sad.
think he's a diver and he's not. He's
No,
actually getting pulled all over the place and handled all over the place. You know, some of them had strangleholds on them and that.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's not. They're not protecting Liverpool players. He wasn't anyway. But it's one game. It was their FA Cup final, and it was just another game for us. So we move on. I
yeah,
was hoping
exactly.
a bit
Well, I
gutted
mean,
they won the last two games. I wish they'd lost them and fucking go down.
see, the problem with Everton though is like they've always kind of been in the relegation battle, but there's
Oh,
always
yeah,
three teams worse than them.
yeah,
But you know what? It's not, Everton and Moyes. Fair play to him. He's won
yeah,
four of the last five. I'm
yeah.
I'm looking at the table and looking at Man United in 15th, and I'm
Yeah.
going,
They
oh,
they could they could They could, but they
Come
really have to.
on, Ipswich,
They,
Southampton. Are
yeah,
just
yeah,
class.
it's Southampton, but they could be. They ain't going to be getting into Europe this year, next year. That's for sure. So that's going to be they're losing a lot of money there.
Yeah,
A
well, I
big
mean,
revenue there.
from top to bottom, United are just terrible. I mean, what's his name, Radcliffe,
Yeah,
is supposed to be sacking a few more people, and like, maybe you should work on your stadium and the rat problem that you have.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Well, I,
big at United.
yeah, I think they're, I think that manager's, they're probably going to get rid of him. I mean, I think he is a good manager, but well, he's supposed to be a good manager. I'm glad he never comes to Liverpool, but I think that he should change the style a bit to win games, but he's so stubborn and pig-headed. I don't think he'll be there because of that.
Yeah,
Lose another few games and they're in real serious trouble. I mean, not going down, but they're not going either way, are they? They're not going up or down.
yeah.
But and why implement the play that he wants to do after he's gone? It's been a mess, Man United. It's just season after season after throwing really good money at real overage players. Basically, that's their problem. Casemiro,
Yeah,
they just
yeah, he
throwing.
wants to stay. No wonder he wants to stay. He's on
Yeah,
like
of
what,
course.
300K a week.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'd stay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm
We're
loving their
going nowhere.
I'm absolutely loving their demise. But I want to ask you, who was your childhood football hero?
Oh God, I had a few of them. I used to love Souness.
Mhm.
I used to love Souness. McMahon, Dalglish, and Ian Rush. They were all my sort of favourites. Hanson, yeah, there's quite a few of them. You name them. There's probably most Liverpool team, but they were my main ones. Barnes, John Barnes. I used to like him. Because he was Jamaican. My parents were born in South America, but it's part of the West Indies, so it's Guyana, the British Guyana. But it's in the mainland. It's in the mainland of South America, but it's classed as one of the West Indies at the time. I don't know about now, but yeah. So I used to like John Barnes, really like him.
Nah, he was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Mine was Kevin Keegan for a year because I was
oh
six.
yeah.
I was
Keegan and
six when I
Hudson
first saw him, and then he buggered off
to Hamburg,
after
didn't
the year, yeah, and then he won the Ballon d'Or twice,
he?
and
Yeah.
I was devastated and still until King Kenny showed up, and
Oh yeah.
I never expected that. From I mean, he's just class on and off the pitch.
Yeah, no, he was he was another good player as well. But they've had so many good players. I mean, but my heroes were the way back. I mean, I still like a lot of the new ones now, all of them basically. But yeah, I can't wait for the game tonight. It is my pleasure. It's my break away from music. That's what I do, and those 2 hours just gives me. I have a couple of alcohol-free beers, sit down here, pretend I'm getting drunk, watching the game. And I love it. I really do. I love it. It's I can't wait for the game tonight. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, it's Liverpool's in your blood. But I mean,
exactly.
switching from an 8-year-old though, like especially the 70s,
Yeah,
Liverpool were winning everything. So you switched at the right time,
yeah, yeah.
because during the Souness era, we didn't win much, and
No,
obviously Roy Hodgson and
yeah.
Brendan Rodgers. But yeah, you switched to the right team. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, you've played Liverpool, haven't you? Probably quite a few times. You've played in Liverpool.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing is just the Liverpool like just lives and breathes football.
Oh
Whether you're
yeah,
Liverpool or Everton or Tranmere Rovers, you know,
yeah.
and
Love
just
it, don't they?
the whole city is
Yeah.
just
But when I go to Liverpool, I usually go and catch a game. If I can go and catch a game, I will. If they're playing at home or the next day on the Sunday, I used to go up there when Oki used to do Cream and stuff. When I played at Cream, I used to go up there and we used to go and watch Liverpool and Chelsea next day and then head back to London. He was Chelsea and I was Liverpool. So it used to be, oh, it used to be great games, really good games. And then we used to even do it in London, the Liverpool and Chelsea thing. But yeah, it's, I love Liverpool as a city as well. I just love the people. I love coming up there to play. We always have a good time. The people are fantastic up there.
Mhm.
My
Um,
second home for definite.
a lot of people say that, Trevor.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I
a
mean,
nice place.
it's not just the music side, football side, but it's just a good, like, cosmopolitan city.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously being a London boy, and I moved out 13 years ago. London now is just so busy. It's every time I go there, there seems to be a couple more million people there or something. But it just so busy, and don't care what time of the day you're up. Early hours of the morning, it's still really busy. Roads are still busy. It's just craziness up there. I mean, I'm thinking now. I'm thinking, how did I even stay up there that long, down there that long? It's that busy, and I mean, I'm there more or less every week because I've got to go via London sometimes to go to the coast or onto somewhere else. So I'm more or less down there every week. But yeah, I'm so glad to be out of London. It's just madness up there. It is.
Yeah, whenever I fly home, I fly into Manchester because
Don't
I
blame you.
cannot do with Heathrow Airport and then
Oh,
getting the train to Lime Street. No, thank you. Yeah, I'll pay, the extra money.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
it,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Total sense.
But so with we had 9 magical years with Klopp, and I think all of us can say, that it's some of the best football we've ever seen. And then a little known Dutchman shows up
Yeah.
on our doorstep, and we're all like, we have no
Well,
idea who you are.
no.
I have no idea he's be doing the things he's done with this team. I think Klopp left us in a really good position,
He
as
did, yeah.
as he said he would last
Yeah.
where he's like, I will leave Liverpool in a good position. I mean,
It's
my
such
heart was broken. Like when
Oh yeah.
when you got the
Yeah.
news, I thought it was a joke. I mean, my mobile was pinging
Oh
like
yeah.
boom, 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 and I picked it up, and Klopp leaving Liverpool. I was like, nah, April Fools is a few months away.
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
got
it's
on Sky and all that, and I was like, wow.
it was horrible. I felt the same. I felt like, oh my God, part of me is gone. And I know he left a great team, but it would have been great if he could have led that team, But I understand, he's had a hard time. It's full on job, isn't it? It's a full
Yeah,
on job. It's football, 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 and that's it. And I think he had a bit of a hard time because I think his father died that last season he was there,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
And I think he struggled because he was going to go before apparently, and that was because that was one of the reasons. But in a way, nothing lasts forever. And yeah, we got Arnie Slot, and he's doing absolutely fantastic. I mean, hopefully they will kick on and win the league, but
mhm.
you never say never, can you? You can never say they're going to win it. I mean, it's crucial next few games. I think they will win it, but it's going to be a tight one, I reckon.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, like Klopp, it's a very good squad. Um, And with the midfield that we had last season, getting more experience,
Yeah,
Gravenbach, jeez, I never expected because he only got
no,
a small look in for Klopp, and now
yeah,
for Slot, like if we don't have him in the team, we
yeah.
just don't look as
No,
good.
we've
And
got a great midfield now.
yeah,
We've
I
got
love
great
Maka.
midfield.
I think we need to go back to Brighton and give them an extra 20, 30
Oh,
million. Thank
definitely.
you. We
Yeah.
screwed you.
He's a
But
brilliant player, and
oh,
Sobby, he's a brilliant player. He reminds me of Johnson, the old Johnson, running all over the place. He
Craig
just don't,
Johnson.
Craig Johnson, that's who he reminds me of. He just don't
Uh,
stop running. He's always running. And then Curtis Jones, another good player. he used to take a bit too long on the ball, but he's got a bit better now.
Yeah, and well,
Always is-
I think a lot of people were having a go at him because you know how online is
yeah,
with the abuse and everything. Oh, he's only in the team because he's a Scouser, which is absolutely ridiculous to say.
very
Like
good.
like Klopp would just play him because he's Scouse. No, yeah, I agree. Curtis sometimes can hold on to the ball too long,
Yeah,
but you know when he gets a run of games,
yeah.
and what he did against Decor and Everton, I love that. That's
Oh, I
that's
did.
that's what
Yeah.
this football team's about. Is like you're not going to do that in front of my fans.
No,
Not
no.
not a chance. And I loved it. He stood up to those three gimps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I
absolutely
loved it,
loved it.
and the Liverpool loved it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well, I
whole
mean,
of Liverpool.
just for that, he's an absolute
Yeah,
legend. So yeah, I loved it. But yeah, this team can go on and do many great things. I mean, we're in the Carabao Cup final against
yep,
Newcastle, which I'm looking forward to because finally it's a final, not
yeah,
against Chelsea.
yes, exactly. Same here. I'm looking forward to it. We should beat Newcastle, hopefully, um, uh, but we really want that league and that and that European Cup. That's
Mhm.
what we really want. And they seem to be faltering a little bit, but I just think it's just a little bit of tiredness. I think Arnie Slot will get them back going again. And also we got a few players coming back as well. We're missing a few players, aren't we?
Mhm.
And that'll be good once they're back. Um, we could do
Yeah,
with
look,
Joe Gomez. We definitely need back. As a just a s- just to give those other two boys a rest. Sometimes
yeah,
when
but I think he's done for the season though. Um,
who is he?
yeah, from what Slot said yesterday, it is his hamstring, and it looks like he needs an operation. So I
Oh,
think that
no.
we might have seen the last of Joe Gomez,
Yeah,
which is sad.
he's too injury prone, isn't he? He's way too injury prone, and he's a good player, but you can't have injury prone players around all the time.
No, I mean, we have a big summer to think about. I mean, obviously, I think there's the three contract
Yeah,
situation, lads, that need to get sorted out. I'm all right with like I think two of them are already done. I think Virgil's done, and I think Salah's done. I think Trent will probably go to
really,
Real.
I think Salah's going to stay. I reckon.
No, I'm saying he'll stay with Van
Yeah,
Dijk. I
I
think
think Trent
Trent's the
might.
one.
He's gone,
Yeah.
but Virgil might stay. I think he might stay.
Hmm.
I think he might stay. I'm not sure.
I mean, I
Ho-
hope he stays.
hopefully he does. But Liverpool got a knack of bringing in someone really good. They have always got this knack of replacing him with someone really good. And as long as he doesn't go to a Premier team, I don't really mind.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
really
thing.
mind, but I'd like to see him stay. To tell the truth, he's a very good leader,
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
very good leader, and we could do with him for another. I would give him a 3-year contract and sell him after next season, maybe, or even the following season. That's what I would do. But I'm not the financial director.
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm the same. You give both of him and Salah two
3-year contract, and then
3-year contracts, and then
money back.
if they dip next season,
Yeah,
then you sell them next summer.
yeah,
So Saudi still want Mo,
yeah.
and they'll
I
want
don't think he wants to
Virgil.
go. Not yet.
Well, the thing is with Mo, he's a winner,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to go to Saudi and play for 3,000, 5,000 people. He wants to win the big trophies, and he still can. And I think it will be at Liverpool. I think he'll
Oh yeah, I think so. And he also wants to break lots of records.
yeah, he's
It's,
getting up there, man.
he's,
He is absolutely, God bless.
he's smashing them left, right, and centre. Honestly,
23 goals already in February.
unbelievable. And he just doesn't seem as if he's going to stop.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hopefully,
absolutely loving it. So, where what's your realistic um like goal for Liverpool? Do you think we'll win the league?
yeah, I do. I think we'd win the league. hopefully the European Cup, but that could be tricky. I'm not sure about what's going on there because it's the format is rubbish. I don't like that format they've done. I don't understand it. I don't know how it works. But in the Caribou Cup, I'm not too fussed about that. But it'd be nice for them to win a trophy because then they can push on. You know, push that will just be the right urge for them to push on for the league. But yeah, I think those three are what I'd like to see them win. But if there's one of them to be dropped, it would be the Caribou Cup. Definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll take all three because I'm greedy, but
But I would, yeah.
but the Caribou Cup, though, I think it's important for us to win it because it
Yeah,
gives us confidence and to kick on
exactly.
for the rest of the season. So, you know,
Yeah.
we'll see where we're at in, you know, come May, and you know, oh, I mean, it could be a title decided against Arsenal at Anfield. You just never know.
It could be, but I
Don't
reckon
want it to be because I want to
no.
be.
I reckon that we hopefully, if we keep going, we'd be too far ahead of Arsenal by then. I
Mhm.
mean, tonight, if we win, we're 7 points clear. Even if we draw, we're still 6 a point. We're still 8 points behind, in front. But I really do believe that we might be a few too many points ahead of them. But you just never know.
That's football, isn't it? You just never
We
know.
never know. You can anything can happen in football. No, well, I've seen it all. I remember seeing Arsenal beat Liverpool up at Anfield that time, and I've never felt so gutted before in my life. I was so gutted. I couldn't believe what was going on. But yeah, hopefully it won't get to that. You know,
I agree. Well, I want to talk about your musical background, your roots in music.
yeah.
So, what was did your mum and dad have an influence on you music wise?
But believe it or not, when my dad died in '96, my mother told me that my dad was a DJ, young DJ. I was like, really? But he did have loads of lovely records. He had a lot of like lovers rock, reggae, loads of Motown, soul, and funk. These albums, loads of them. And I remember growing up playing them all the time. He had a really good stereo sound system as well. And yeah, I just remember him playing all these records. And then my mum told me this story. I said, God, bloody hell, this is probably where I get it from. And he moved from South America in 1959. It was British Guyana at the time, and they came over to England to find a better job and work because it had just lost its independence, and it had gone to just Guyana. The British had pulled out then, and the Americans had put in a bogey government, and they were just taking people's property and all that sort of stuff. So they got out of there. And I was born in '61. And yeah, I just grew up playing these records and I loved music. My dad definitely had an influence. I mean, he knew quite a lot about music, but I just didn't know that he was a disc jockey. He even disc jockeyed at my mother's engagement party. She was getting married to someone else. I was like, well, what happened then? Anyway, um, that's how I got into it. And then all my cousins and relatives, they were all into the soul and the reggae stuff, which I've still got all these 7-inch reggae's singles that he had, and they are worth an absolute fortune now. I mean, I've still got them. They're not in brilliant condition. It's still in very good condition, but yeah. I mean, this is really early days of all the lovers rock and stuff and the early soul stuff. Some of this soul stuff is very rare now, but yeah, so that's probably where I get it all from. I remember I was so into music. I remember even as a kid, used to go with my dinner money and play penny up the wall, and then go as soon on the way home. I used to go down to the record shop. There's a record shop on the way home and buy singles with it. So I was collecting singles then, and that was in the '70s. So by the time 7 inches and stuff like that, 12 inches and that come out, I was like, whoa, these big 7-inch records. I was like, because they were mainly made for DJs. that play out on the circuit, but the 7 inches are for more radio. And yeah, I must have bought every 12 inch that ever I saw that I liked. But yeah, it was that was my influence. And you go through these dips and ups and downs. I've been through a few of those, and it's been mainly because the lack of music, the lack of music that I like, or or that music's fading, and I'm looking for something new to get together. I like finding new genres or new styles or new, that I can play to the people, and that's what I am really, is a selector that that could mix. I can mix, and I want to put it to people that never heard the tracks and hopefully like them. That's really what I do. That's the main thing. I sort of live and breathe music, and I like to pass it on as well to other people. So yeah, that's always been my thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you call yourself a selector. I think the great, Andrew Weatherall,
Oh
again,
yeah. So
another great selector. It's just that yourself and him would find stuff that
exactly.
nobody found.
Uh,
I mean, this is the thing, we live in a world right now where any bedroom producer can just put their music
oh
out.
yeah,
You know,
of course.
Beatport, I mean, I'm sorry to say, is 90% shite.
It,
It's
yeah,
not very well
it-
produced. It's just throwaway music. That's what I
to-
call it.
totally, totally.
And I miss the days where I would spend hours upon hours at a record shop just
Yeah,
going through. At first, when I was younger, I'd watch other people going through stuff, and then I'd go to that section and I'd
yeah,
pull it out, and then I'd put it on the turntable and go, "Oh, this is crap." You know,
yeah, yeah,
and then I'd go like to the bargain bins that nobody
yeah.
would get, and I'd find tracks that, I mean, why do you want to play tracks that everyone else has?
I don't. But
Yeah,
let's see it. You don't. And that's the thing with music of today. Everybody's playing the same old rubbish all the time. And I'll get hundreds of promos, a month. Hundreds. I mean, literally, probably about 300, 400 a week, even. And there's some good tracks on there, but they're all sorts. They're not just house music. They're not just tech house. It's everything. I like all kinds of music, and I find ways to blend them. I find ways, even if they can't, there is always a way to make it work. Always. And that's what, like you're saying, and that's searching in the record shops. That's your job. That's what you should be doing. That's what we're out there to find something different. And like you said, you go in the bargain bins, you go where everybody else ain't going. That's where the tracks are probably. And I used to do that 5 or 6 shops a time. Thursday, Fridays used to make my time to go shopping. I used to go to all the ones in town. They get to know you. They used to just put away bags for me, and I used to just come in and say, "Yeah, is that my bag?" Just go through everything, and I'll just go, "Yeah, I'll take all that." I used to spend a fortune on music, easy 300, 400 quid a week, easily. But I used to love my purchases. Come home and couldn't wait to play them. That's the thing. Couldn't wait to play them, and do the same every week. Do the same every week. New music, new music. But I had residencies as well in them days, which was great. It's cool. I love residencies where you can build your crowd and get them into your style of music, and repeat the following week. Not the same music, but just that type of music. It was really good, and it's good to build your confidence. I used to work Rage, me and Colin Favor, and over here there's a lot of there's a lot of clubs. You play for an hour. You go on and play for an hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. I mean, God, really, I think that's one of the reasons it's crushed the club scene, because it's everybody that's playing for an hour. Say you have 10 DJs, every one of them would just want to go on and bang it. What's the point in that? 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What's the point in that? But when I used to play with me and Colin Favor, it used to be just the two of us at Heaven. We used to do Rage, and it'd be 1 week I'll start early, and then he'll finish, and then we used to swap. So he'd warm up, and the following week I'd warm up, but we'd have at least 2.5 to 3 hours each. You know, our nights used to be more journey, so I'd set it all up, you know, and then he could take it away, and vice versa. And the clubs have lost all that now. It's just you can walk into clubs and it's like peak moment all the time, and it just doesn't stand up. So I've started doing a few things now, and I'm bringing that all back where people are having at least 2 hour sets minimum, no 1 hour sets. What could you do in 1 hour? Nothing.
Just
So
play bangers. That's
yeah,
it.
well, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to be heard. Everyone wants to, you know, smash it. But no, it's not like that. It should be journeys, and that's how I'm doing my clubs. I'm going back to the original way we used to do it, and also, you know, these phones as well. I mean, sometimes it's good to have these phones because you need it for footage and stuff like that. But not everybody. We now get our own personal photographer in that goes around and takes all official photographs and stuff. You know, because you do need it for footage and all that sort of stuff. And but we have one guy doing it now, um, which is the right way to do things, I think.
Well, I
Clubs
mean,
have changed a lot over here. They've changed.
I've said it many, many times. You know, dance music. The word dance is in that
Yeah,
sentence, and
exactly.
nobody's dancing anymore. Everybody's got the damn phones out, and you lose the soul of
Yeah,
what's happening. And I think the younger generation would rather go to festivals where there's 50 DJs
okay.
playing 1 hour rather
Yeah,
than going seeing. I mean, my whole thing is, you know, when I was growing up, the resident DJs were the DJs I want to see. You know,
definitely,
every
definitely.
now and again they'd have a guest, but the
Yeah,
resident DJs are the ones that started the night, and that's the whole
that's
thing. I
it.
think the the warm up DJ for me is
Important.
is
Yeah,
the first one that you're going to hear when you walk in that club, and you
and
don't want to fucking bang
no,
out. You want to slowly, you know,
it's
go
about
towards the
experience.
dance floor.
Giving them a journey. And I
Hmm.
want all my DJs to be like that, you know. That's how it was, and it always was. And I remember when we used to go to when we was in Ibiza, the lights used to come down at 12 o'clock. So you'd have bright lights, and everybody's playing music, and everyone's chatting away. And then 12 o'clock, the beat gets heavier, the lights come down,
Hmm.
and everyone wants to dance in. So before it's you like chatting, hanging out, and then serious business, mate. After 12 o'clock, we want to dance, you know, and that's the same attitude. I'm going back to the future, shall I say? I'm just redoing things the way I am. This year is this year is my 50th year in the UK playing music all over the world, really. But I'm thinking I'm possibly going to move out to Portugal next year. Yeah, because I've just had enough of England. So I mean, you probably know all this already, but I've had enough of England, and I just want to go and just do something else, get away from England. My partner wants to as well, so we're going to sell up. So this year I'm doing parties, small parties, in independent venues with my own lineups. And we're doing so far we've got about 11 dates, so one big city every month, you know, Nottingham, London, Manchester, all over, and we're doing lots of little parties in between, free ones and that, because of the cost of living. We're trying to do free parties, and then if you want to go to the club afterwards, it'd be like no more than £15 depending who's on, but it could be from 10 to £15, which is really good considering that all these big clubs, they're like 80, £90 to get into nowadays, you know, and we're just trying to bring the cost down, and we're trying to get varied music, and I'm getting superstar DJs lined up with DJs that are breaking, and then local DJs of that area, you know. So if we go to Liverpool, local DJs, ones that are breaking through, adding girls, and a couple of top ones. um, I just feel as if that I need to do that, and just sort of be grateful. Just it's like a goodbye, but it's not a goodbye because I'm coming back the following year, probably 2, 3 months to do work DJing. But yeah, I want to leave it and do leave my mark. And I've got some other people to take over the parties when I come back. And so when I come back, to the UK, I'll have some gigs lined up. So yeah, I just think it's the right way to go. And I think that sitting there just watching things get destroyed, I'm trying to do something about it. Small though, it's only small, and then hopefully it will lead to other things as well. And also, what I'm doing is this Balearic Burger thing. It's genreless, so
Yeah.
you'd have all kinds of music, everything. You'd have, hip hop. You'd have whatever, Balearic, house, a little bit house, soul, funk, jazz. It's everything, and it's not just one genre. We're not concentrating on one genre. We're concentrating on all genres. So I'm really going to step up this Balearic thing now, for the year, and hopefully leave it in good hands with some guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Balearic Burger, I actually only found the group last year. And
Yeah,
it's incredible how many like DJs and producers are in it, and they all seem like there's one goal to put out
yeah,
good music. I love uh,
that's it.
the group itself.
Yeah,
It's like make sure you search and not duplicate.
yeah,
I love that because I'm on other groups that they're putting the same
everybody
music on
say
on the damn thing. Like,
exactly,
you just put this up like a month ago. Why do I want to
exactly,
even though
exactly.
it's good, but like, you've got like psychedelic records, you've got jazz on there, you've got hip hop, trip hop,
Yeah,
ambient, dan like techno. Like I love it, and it's such a good group. And
yeah,
they're doing a party in San Francisco, which
that's right. With
I,
Asher.
yeah, I wish I
Yeah,
could go. I really do, but
yeah.
or a rainy night in Stoke.
Yeah, well, I done that one last week, and it was quite a hard one, really, because we'd only sold about 80 tickets online, and we was thinking, oh, God, only 80 tickets, because it is really tough over at the moment to sell any tickets, and they're not expensive, but we were lucky. We got about 60 payers on the door, and it only holds 150 anyway. So it was perfect. There were 2 rooms, and it went off. It was a great night. But yeah, what you're saying about that community is it's just everyone's involved, and there's loads of DJs, and there's loads of DJs that are not working or haven't got any work or anything like that. And that's what we're trying to do is get these guys back that are really good and give them a bit of hope again and start up something. We could do this, and that's what it's all about. We want to just and it's working slowly, getting there. We're getting there, and I'm sort of trying to play a big part in it by organizing the clubs, organizing the DJs, and all, and just use my professionalism to get these things done. And then add in, hopefully next year, not this year, next year we'd be adding a few festivals and other things as well. So yeah, just watch this space. I reckon it's going to go off on that Balearic Burger thing. You
It's just
are
it's
all over the place at the moment. So
refreshing to hear that though, because I think the smaller venues deserve a lot of credit. Uh,
exactly that.
they keep things more intimate,
Yeah,
and there is a connection with the DJ and with the crowd. While you
exactly.
go to these mega clubs, there's no connection there anymore.
And
It's
it's
just
agents that run them all, basically.
yeah,
Oh, I have to get this DJ. Oh, I have to get this DJ. Oh, I have to bring my own DJs in. It's no, I don't want none of that. Yeah, and we're getting venues like we just got the Star and Garter in Manchester, and that's an old rundown pub, but they've got a brilliant sound system in there. Holds a couple of hundred people, and that's the sort of place we like. We like small independent venues where the sound system is great, but there's sweat coming down off the ceilings, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we have got that place, and that's the place I wanted. So yeah, we're trying to just bring it back, going back to the start, going right back, and take your musical journeys and make people dance again and love it again. Small independent venues. It's I think it's the right way to go, and I reckon that everybody's going to want to jump on this, but we can't have everybody. Do you know what I mean? We can't, and we're going to stick tight as a group, and I like that. I really do.
Well, you know, put out quality rather than
Exactly.
quantity. That's the thing
Exactly.
as well. You know, again, I just think these massive like EDM festivals have ruined
Yeah.
dance music. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
the
God, yeah.
highest DJs get paid just insane amounts. Well, their
Yeah.
agent gets paid insane
Yeah.
amounts.
Paying amounts. Yeah, exactly.
And again, a disconnection between the crowd because they're so far back.
Oh, totally.
You know, a lot of them have to have these incredible visuals. And for me, I don't care about visuals. I don't care about lights. You can put me in a room, with a black light
Yeah.
or just a red light in the corner.
That's all you need.
I'm there for the music. I'm not there for the lighting guy. I'm not there for the pyrotechniques. I'm not there for the visuals. I'm there for the music because without the music,
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I miss those days and like it's hard to not sound like an old fart when you're kind of talking about the old
No,
days.
I totally agree with you.
You
I
know,
totally agree
uh,
with you.
I just watch these videos on YouTube of the youngsters, and I'm just like, man,
They
some are
just got
clued up, some are clued up, and they do
yeah.
look to the older generation,
Yeah.
and they
Well,
get
that's
it.
how it used to be, you see. And I think since COVID, it's just separated.
Hmm.
Because you've got these new type of DJs in, and you've got with it, which are just using all social media and stuff like that. It's all about likes, and all that. Whereas the old stuff has gone, it's sort of gone, and I'm just trying to pull that back together again, but in a better way, doing it better, than we used to do it before, and keeping it small. You can't go wrong with keeping it small and doing what we're doing because we know it can work with the amount of people that we've got on the Balearic Burger community. And we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. I mean, as you can see, you've seen it. There's quite a lot of gigs all over the country now already, and I think we put on about 55 events so far, which is an amazing, really, just from a Facebook group.
Yeah, just word of
Everybody
mouth.
wants to get involved, you see. So, and everybody gets a chance, and it's good. I think it's good. I think it's a good way to go, and I think it's going to be there for a few years, I reckon, or probably even longer. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah,
do you remember your first gig?
do I remember my first gig? Well, funny enough, it was I'd done loads of little parties, yeah, and I used to do loads of parties around my area with a guy called Carl Cox. Because me and Carl, we grew up together. We got same birthdays and everything. And we used to put on these little parties, and I used to have one part of the system, the decks and the mixer, and he used to have the other part, the sound, the amps and the speakers, and we used to put on these little parties everywhere. So we got this little group going. So we used to do those were little parties we used to do. Um, but my first proper gig was yes, it was a place called Covent in Rumours in Covent Garden. Now they were just opening. And I was walking past one day, and I went in there speaks to the manager and I met him and he was a guy that lived just around the corner from me in Streatham. First thing he asked me was, "Are you over 18?" I went, yeah, I wasn't. I was 16. But I looked 18. I could have got away with it. And that was it. And Rumours was the place to go to in London. It was like one of the best bars in London. This was all around the Blitz time, the New Romantics and all that. And then Friday nights, we used to have the Duran Duran boys, Midge, Steve Strange, Rusty Egan, all those boys. They used to all come down, all the clothes designers, and it used to be like the hangout. And yeah, they were my first gigs. They were all my first gigs. And then they ran for 5 years. They even got a club downstairs. So I used to book all the DJs in Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the bar upstairs and then down in the club. So I used to book like Paul Oakenfold, all these guys in the bar. It's been brilliant. So they were my first proper gigs, really. And yeah, it was a brilliant start. And I was there for 5 years. And like I said, I've always had residencies. I've always had these big long residencies, and 5 years plus. Worked to heaven for 5 years as well. So it's great because it really does stand you up for when you want to go out, because everybody wants to play at heaven. Everybody, it's the top club. It's like Hacienda. Everybody wants to be there. Do you know, it's the same thing. It's the top club. But being there for that long, you learn a lot. You see a lot of people come and go, and yeah, brilliant times. That first gigs. I remember when I decided to get this bit of kit, and my friend Rafe, we were gonna go halves on the payments, so I bought it. Within about a week, Rafe had pulled out. I was like, oh God, here we go. So I had all this equipment and only me to pay for it. But, I just got on with it and I never looked back. And that was it. It was the start of it, really. And it was brilliant.
I love that because I've heard from a lot of the DJs that they were too young, to
Yeah.
actually supposedly be DJing, and they blagged their way in. And
Oh, yeah.
I love those stories,
Oh, yeah.
where you've only played a few times, at like little house parties and stuff, but you get asked by the promoter or the owner, like, you're really good, right? Oh yeah. And then you
Yeah.
basically learn on the job,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
You do.
how
You
much,
learn on
like
it.
the
Yeah,
crowd
exactly.
reaction.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, and that's it. Yeah, you do, and and also with the residencies, like I said, you play your style, and you get other people that want to come in, or you book, they tend to follow your style. I mean, at one time at Rage, we was playing flipping out techno house. It was 88, and we was playing Italian, we was playing German, it was all going on, do you know what I mean? But that's what was happening. And it was all kinds of music, and that's what I love. I love that all kinds of music. If I go out, I couldn't stand it if it was just a house club. It gets a bit boring after a while. And if it's just say techno, actually, I could go out if it was just techno. It depends what time of the morning. It's got to be late. But I like the mix mishmash of all different kinds of beats. I like to hear breaks. I love to hear techno. I love to hear, chill out. I love it all. But yeah, good times, really good times at Rage. It was amazing. Me and Colin Favor, and he used to be my favorite DJ when I was younger. Him and Eddie Richards used to be my favorite DJs. So now I'm playing with my favorite DJ. So I'm here at 88. I'm playing my favorite DJ for 5 years. And we traveled the whole world, me and Colin Favor. We was going everywhere. We was going to Europe. We was going all over the UK, doing gigs, and he's such a brilliant guy. He really was. He was such a good DJ as well. So that was another good thing about playing with Colin, and being one of my heroes. Playing with him and playing with him for 5 years as well. It's amazing.
You still pinch yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm a real lucky guy. You make your own luck. You do make your own luck. But I think, I just pressed all the right buttons and I just touched, there was a luck, luck, luck. It's like with sunrises and things like that, all that, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But saying that, I was part of the big Ibiza movement and all that. So I suppose they wanted me on there as well. It's I don't know. It's one of those. I've just been there, right place at right time. I was always out. I was looking for opportunities, and you make your own luck. I think it's not just a lot of people are bedroom DJs, but they literally stay in the bedroom and don't come out the bedroom. So how are they supposed to meet other people? You have to do a lot more. And also in our days, we didn't have computers. We didn't have social media. We didn't really. I used to ring my agent at the end of the day to see what's come in, and then he used to send me through on a fax all the details, and that's how we used to get the things done. I would, where now everything comes through the air and there straight away. But in them days, it was, oh, I'll ring you at 5, see what I've got come in, and then you write it all down, then you ring him back next day to confirm everything. But I was flying all over the world in them days, in the 88s, 90s. But we weren't, we weren't really using mobile phones. They'd come in around that time, but we weren't really using them. And it's amazing now. I mean, considering anyone can get hold of anyone any time of the day at any time. It's just madness. There seems to be less contact, even though there's more capabilities of being able to contact people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We
Well,
didn't
I
have
mean,
that.
it's easier to send somebody a text message now
Yeah.
than pick the damn phone up and hear the
Well,
voice on the
exactly.
other side.
Yeah.
And I think, we miss that communication. That's a big, big
Yeah.
issue that I have. My kids, they're young and they're already like, Dad, can I have a phone? I'm like, you're 9 years old. What do you need a phone for? Like, no, it's not happening. Not until you're like 15, 16,
I
where
think,
I want to know where you are at all times.
yeah, but I think
Yeah.
this is it's definitely just affecting a lot of kids and people. I mean,
Zombies. Zombies, that's what I call
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could be in a room and could be 3 or 4 people trying to talk to them. They're just sitting there on their phone,
them.
not even doing anything, just sitting there on the phone. And that's all it is nowadays. And this is what we're trying to do. I'm trying to do this Balearic Burger thing with the music, with the right sort of attitude, and hopefully leave it for when I come back. I'll have a few gigs lined up in the summer months, and I think it's the attitude of the people that I'm working with as well. They've got the same attitude. Not everybody can do those gigs, and not every, but there will be. They'll get a chance. That everyone will get a chance. And I think it's a good way to go. At least try something. Try and do something, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think it would do well.
100%. Now, I didn't want to talk to you about Ibiza because you've, in so many interviews,
Both times,
kind
yeah.
of gone through that. I do want to talk about the charity.
Oh yeah,
Last night, a DJ saved my life. If you
yeah,
could tell like everyone what it's all about, because I've seen the videos and I've seen the kids smiling
yeah.
faces. That just brings so much joy. But if you can tell everyone, what it's all
Ba-
about.
Basically, Last Night DJ was set up by it was the vision of a friend of mine called Johnny Lee, and it was in 2010. Well, basically, he started from just going on runs and then getting more people, and then he thought, well, I'm going to try and do this in the music business. So in 2010, he done his first gig, and I've been with him since the start. So I done the first gig where we did a whole Blairic thing. Alfredo came over, me, Nancy Noyes, loads of jocks from all over the country raising money. Um, but then it's just got bigger and more worldwide. So basically, the charity is raising money for other charities through music. And I've done quite a lot of events for them, but the big one was the one I done recently for them, going over to Tanzania. We was taking equipment for the young kids, and they've also got an orphanage where there's 160 displaced kids, basically, no family and that sort of thing. And then they got the Angels Gates boys. There's about 30 boys. Yeah, I mean, you won't want to know the stories. Think you could probably think of the worst thing, and it's probably happened, but it's really bad. Um, so we brought them over. Pioneer gave us a couple of new Omnius Duo um consoles, brand new ones. They gave us loads of headphones and speakers and stuff like that. We got hold of instruments, old little consoles, anything we can get. We took over and we split them up and give them to the two groups. And I went with a guy called Darren J, a Jono that does earphones for DJs, professional earpieces actually that you use naturally in every day, your working day. I went with Ellie. She's works for Last Night DJ, and a girl called Camilla from Dubai, and Johnny Lee. So we were the first team that went out there, and we went out there and we was trying to, help them with their music, help them with instruments, help them with their art. We had Camilla done the art, help them with the producing songs. And I've got a couple of tracks here. God, they're amazing. And once I get the stems, I'm going to be passing them over to a few disc jockeys over here. And we're going to get a package together done for them, and we're going to put it out for them. So it's going to be the Angels Gate Boys. They got this wonderful track. Honestly, it's so good. I'm raving about it actually. But when I get all the parts, I'll send it all out, and hopefully we'll get a package together, and all the money will go to them. Well, it probably won't be loads of money, but you never know. You never know. It hopefully everything helps. And I was there for a week, and I had such a fantastic time. I mean, when I first arrived and you see their little faces wondering who the hell we were, and then at the end of the week, the joy on their faces was just tremendous. And we'd come very close friends to all these boys, as well. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. But the second week, a second team went out, and they were 43 climbers that were climbing to Kilimanjaro, and all music business people as well. And same thing, raising money for the charity, but not doing our work. We were doing different work. They were raising it through the climbing. And yeah, and what they done was all the fallen heroes like Alfredo, DJs, and Nathan Coles and stuff like that. They picked up all these 8 pebbles from the beaches in Ibiza. They took them down to Angels Gate where they hand painted them, and they put all the names of the DJs on there. There was 8 of them. And then they were taken to the top of Kilimanjaro and left at the top of Kilimanjaro, and they've done a little video. I'll be doing a post soon as they release it. And they do that every year. So all the fallen heroes, they always leave a stone up on the Kilimanjaro mountain at the top of Kilimanjaro, which is a beautiful thought, and that's where I want to go as well. When I finish, that's where I'm going to be going. But I'm seriously thinking of doing that climb myself. Because it's not a bad climb. It's only when you get to the last bit, it's quite terrifying. But you never know. I'm not sure if I'm fit enough, but I will try.
Somebody
Yeah. It's a wonderful charity, and I've always been part of it, and I always raise money for them, and we do it. We do. We've done 2 auctions, and we've even had Banksies donated to us, and that. And on the first one, we raised about 180,000, and then the second one we recently done, no, 150,000. The second one we done was 80,000. So we're doing these, we do these competitions for under 21s. They have heats all over the cities, and then they all come together and do a final in Ministry of Sound. So it's just a really good charity, and it's about giving back. It's giving back, and that's what this Balearic Burger thing is, giving back. I'm giving back. It's my last year in the UK. I want to give back to people and the music world, because I've been lucky and I've been grateful for all the chances I've had, and it's time to give back.
100%. Is it a website for last?
Yes.
Day?
Yeah, Last Night DJ website. Yeah. Yes. It's all the information usually on there. And I'm doing quite a few gigs this year to raise money for Wales. So we're going to be raising money for certain Wales they'll find it where they go, and I think it's about £3,000 to make a well, just under £3,000. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing through BALEARIC Burger as well, raising money so that we can get our first well going, and it drives everybody on. It does. It drives everybody on. It gives them something to aim for.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. And I'll when the episode goes out, I'll put the website
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Yeah.
You know,
If you need any info, let me know and I'll send it over to you. Not a problem.
yeah, definitely. I love what you do, Trevor. I love what you've done for this scene. I love what you're still doing now, you know, after 50,
Right.
50 years is incredible, mate. And it is an absolute honor, you know, to chat with you. Like I said before, you know, this podcast really helps me connect to the people that, you know, I've always admired.
Yeah, yeah.
It's even better, you know, like I said, when you're a Liverpool supporter as well. So, you know,
Yeah.
I've hit gold dust. It's like getting a ticket to Anfield, which is so hard to do these days. But you know, I really appreciate your time. Trevor, do you have a band camp as well?
I haven't got a band camp. No.
Ah, you need to,
I,
mate.
no, I've got because I haven't really been putting out much stuff, but this year I will be putting out some stuff, and I'm not sure if it's going to go through Bandcamp, but it'll be going through the distribution company. But yeah, it will be. No, because I haven't been putting out a lot of stuff lately, so but it'll probably go through the distribution company, I'm afraid. So I'll let you know. Anything we have got some good stuff coming up. We're working on a BALEARIC Beats 2 now. So that's my new next project for an album release.
Nice. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. If you are in the UK, look out for the Balearic
Burger.
event. You know, from what I've seen of the video footage, it gets sweaty, and it seems like a lot of fun with some amazing DJs. I mean, I was hearing some lad was mixing Aha Take on Me with something else.
Oh
People
yeah, yeah, yeah.
still don't understand how he did it, but he did it. And that's what I love about music and
That's
DJ.
Gripper.
Take that risk.
DJ Gripper.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Graham Newman.
People are still talking about it, and I love
Yeah, yeah.
that. You know, that's what it's
That's
about.
what you want to hear, isn't
You
it?
know?
It's great things. It's lovely when you hear things like that.
Yeah, it
And
is.
every
And
time he plays that track, it goes off.
yeah, well played to it.
Perfect.
I mean, well
Yeah,
played.
it's all
I would
good.
never have thought that. But if you're on Facebook as well, please check out Balearic Burger Group. It's
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic with, like I said, with so many good people on it who are putting, you know, hundreds of tracks on there every single day, and a lot of them I've not heard of as well. So as soon as I
absolutely.
see a
Yeah,
new track on there, I'll listen to it, and then I'm
yeah.
on Bandcamp or, you know, wherever I can get it from.
Get
So
it from exactly.
please go check that out. Again, Trevor, absolute honor, mate. You know, I wish you all the best, especially next year when you move to Portugal. I'm sure you'll be taking Balearic Burger to Portugal as well. Why
Oh,
not?
definitely,
You know, in the
definitely.
sun, you know, not on a rainy night in
Oh
Stoke,
yeah,
it'll be in Lisbon or wherever.
definitely, definitely. Oh, it was lovely speaking to you as well, Darren. And hopefully Liverpool will go on and let's have another chat in a few months' time.
Defo, I'll bring you back on and we'll all be celebrating. But
Yes,
thanks
definitely.
everyone for listening. Please like, subscribe, put your notifications on, and put your earbuds on. Listen to new music, listen to new artists. Don't,
Yeah.
you know, listen to the same stuff. Expand your mind a bit. Until next time, stay safe and thanks.
You take care, Darren.